From the post-millennial, biological male who broke a woman's skull named, quote, bravest athlete in history. Of course, they were referring to MMA fighter Fallon Fox, who they say twice broke an opponent's skull to win a match, has been called the bravest athlete in history. Fox, a male-to-female transgender athlete, destroyed Erica Newsom in Coral Gables, Florida, MMA fight during which she secured a grip on Newsom's head with her hands gripping the back of Newsom's skull. She delivered a massive knee, bringing her leg up while putting her opponent's head down. The blow landed on Newsom's chin and dropped her unconscious face first on the mat. That was Newsom's last pro fight. This tweet here says, LGBT publication names former U.S. Navy specialist Fallon Fox, who then identified as a woman and became an MMA women's fighter, during which time they fractured an opponent's skull, as the bravest athlete in history. I'm going to stop right now, and I'm just going to say it. Fallon Fox should absolutely be allowed to fight against biological females, so long as everyone knows and chooses to engage in this sport. I see this article, and I'm a little bit on the other side of it, but I do ultimately agree with Postmillennial, mainly because it seems the people that Fallon Fox fought against were unaware they were going to be fighting a transgender woman. Whether or not anybody wants to claim otherwise, the science tends to show, at least my understanding as of now, and science changes, that biological males, of course, for obvious reasons, have advantages in physical activity, but it's more than that. It's that a lot of people are saying with puberty blockers and transition, now it's fair. Not true. Prenatal testosterone plays a huge role in fast twitch muscle development and other factors. So regardless of whether or not Fallon Fox transitioned before or after puberty, it's moot. It's pointless. But the other issue is that Fallon Fox transitioned after puberty anyway. And as Joe Rogan put it, has more grip, bigger hands, bigger joints, more striking power, broader shoulders, narrower hips. All of those things will confer a massive advantage in a physical fight. The main point I want to drive home with this as we read this is that a lot of the stories I see about fights between transgender individuals or like sports is that when it comes to like fighting, you know, the post-millennial article really does drag Fallon Fox for beating up women, they say. But if those women knew and chose, I see no problem. I see no problem. But it does seem, and this is the point, it does seem that no one knew Fallon Fox was trans. And so you actually had a biological male getting in the ring and beating up biological females who had no idea. And that's why they were shocked to find that amount of power. But the main point I want to drive here, and we'll read more, is that in any circumstance, if a biological female chose to, if Ronda Rousey chose to fight Conor McGregor, I'd be like, yeah, go for it. I think Conor McGregor would wipe the floor with her, you know, for sure. But I think she's allowed to make that choice. Conor would probably say no. I don't know. You know, maybe he would do it. It would be a huge fight, but it would be over very, very quickly, in my opinion. Fallon Fox has one lost match. Fallon Fox has lost one match, not one a lost match. Fallon Fox has lost a match due to, my understanding is what Joe Rogan was saying, grappling, a submission, which, you know, but Fallon Fox apparently has incredible striking power. So let's read more, and I'll get into this point. My main point, to say for the third time now, is liberty, freedom. Consenting adults can do what they want to do. If they get injured, they chose to do it. Mutual combat. They say, to out sports a male-bodied person beating a female-bodied person unconscious constitutes bravery. Not only has Fox beat up women in the ring, won every match but one, but has weathered online attacks from the likes of Joe Rogan. I think we can all agree that getting back online after Joe Rogan has knocked you down is far braver than facing another male-bodied of your own muscle mass and size in a fight. Fox also beat Tamika Brents, giving her a concussion and breaking 7 orbital bones. But that's super brave too, taking an unfair male-bodied advantage and using it to give female-bodied opponents brain injuries. All right, here's the thing. I think it's fair to say Fallon Fox is brave. If it's true, and it seems to be, that Fallon Fox did not inform other people that she in fact was trans, I do not consider that brave at all. I do think it's fair to say that if you're someone who is LGBTQ and you decide to come out and express yourself, that does take bravery. I mean, there's social stigmas around that, and I can't imagine it would be an easy thing to do. I much respect people who want to live to their fullest. You know, I'll tell you this too, man. I know so many weak, pathetic people, and it breaks my heart. They won't go out for the job they want. They won't try to do the new project they want. You got people who say, I really wish I was a great skateboarder. I'm like, go out and skate, take the risks, drop in. They're too scared. They won't do it. But there are a lot of people who say, I feel this in my, in my inner being. And I got to say, even someone like Rachel Dolezal, who insists that she's transracial, hey man, it takes a lot of guts to come out and say that because you're going to get stigmatized. So I can respect that you are choosing, to come out and put yourself in this position. But I got to say, while I can respect that type of bravery, you're living to your fullest regardless of the social consequences, they say that Fallon Fox was outed, not by choice, which means Fallon Fox was fighting women who didn't know. That's not cool. Let's read more. Vice defended Fox, saying a bunch of dumb things I'm not going to read. Quote, I've fought a lot of women in my life. I fought a lot of women and have never felt the strength that I felt in a fight as I did that night, Brent said, recounting her experience fighting Fox. I can't answer whether it's because she was born a man or not because I'm not a doctor. I can only say I've never felt so overpowered in my life, and I am an abnormally strong female in my own right. I still disagree with Fox fighting. Any other job or career, I say have a go at it. But when it comes to combat sport, I think it just isn't fair. Vice said this was just whining. Vice is nuts. Remember when Vice was like the bad boy of media, and now it's just the crony establishment garbage? And I worked there. That's coming from me. There has been much debate over what makes a woman. Since the early poets all the way up to Vice magazine, whatever. This is just post-millennial. This is nonsense. Thanks to the trans movement, we can get back to the original notion that to be a woman is to possess a special kind of soul that makes you want to be oppressed, beaten, bloodied, and cared for. Progress. I don't know what that means either. There is no consensus among sporting organizations as to what gives a man enough of a disadvantage to compete against a woman. The International Olympic Committee says a male needs to suppress testosterone to be at or below 10 nanomoles per liter of blood for a period of 1 year prior to a competition. Females who take testosterone would need years of hormones to get up to that. Right. Like the average woman, I think, has like a 2. And a lot of these trans women have a 7. So they're still getting a massive advantage, which should be noted. They say muscle mass does not substantially decrease with hormone treatment. Eradication of genitals did not diminish bone density. There are no cohesive federal laws in the U.S. to determine what makes a male eligible to compete against a woman. And while males have won women's championships, female-bodied athletes have not risen to the upper levels of male competition, and it will never happen. Sorry, it won't. Speaking to Outsports, Fox says, my teammates had no idea I was trans. They recognized my endurance, my strength, my ability to cut weight in the same category as cisgender women. There was no idea in their minds that I didn't belong. They weren't thinking, oh my God, she's going to kill somebody. That Fox can pass as a woman doesn't negate her male advantages. Nothing can. It actually shows this was wrong. If her teammates didn't know that she was trans and she was beating these women up, not cool at all. Informed consent all the way. If you are going to engage in any kind of professional relationship, people have a right to know certain things within the confines of that relationship. Okay. If we're going to be working together, I don't care if you have a hysterectomy, if you have a mastectomy, if you're trans, if you're gay, that doesn't matter. If we're in a relationship and being intimate, it does matter. If we're going to make physical contact in a fight or a sports competition, it does matter. If a biological female wants to play one-on-one hoops with a biological male, go for it, man. If she wants to compete in that way, I don't care. But to position someone's professional career as a sportsman, as a fighter, not knowing you're being put in the ring with a biological male and you get bones fractured, that's a way step over the line, man. Fox was outed against her will, which led to her induction into the LGBT Sports Hall of Fame. This is where Fox's bravery came into play. When the UFC and MMA promoters like Invicta declined to let her compete against women, Fox determined to keep beating up women anyway. Time will tell if MMA gives her another chance. Now, I understand the post-millennial is like a rather opinionated outlet. I think you guys could do a little better because some of these overly verbose paragraphs with like defining what a woman is as like a wily charm thing. It's like, nah, we don't need none of that. We don't need none of that. But you know what? By all means, have your opinion, state it the way you want. I happen to be the rare lefty libertarian type. Now, of course, the authoritarian communist people try to claim they're lefty libertarian. They're not. Let me explain something very simply. I believe if you're a transgender woman, biologically male, wanting to fight a biological female, so long as everyone involved agrees and understands what they're getting into, you do it. Because that's freedom. You choose. If the woman says, I know and I want to do this, awesome. I have seen fights between men and women. Like there was one woman, an MMA fighter, who some guy challenged her and then she said, I'll do it. And then the guy backed out and then she eventually found someone who was willing to do it. And I'm like, cool, man, whatever, man. Consenting adults can do their thing. So to put it simply, just a really quick little wrap up to explain what it means to be a lefty libertarian. I don't care if you want to walk around dressed as a clown, juggling bananas. Just don't start throwing those bananas at people. So there's a very, very much so like not traditional. It's progressive, right? I don't believe in, for the most part, like a requirement to be traditional, to hold certain family values or anything. If you're trans, like, more power to you. Much respect for you living your true self. But I don't believe in authoritarianism. I believe you have a right to inform people in situations like this. And for the most part, the easiest way to explain lefty libertarian, if anyone claims they're like a center-left libertarian or a lefty libertarian, and they explain it in a way, in any way other than hippies living on a farm, they're not telling you the truth. We saw that video from Veritas where the guy's like, I'm a left libertarian, but he's a total statist, communist, authoritarian. Nah, sorry, dude. Left libertarians are the people who like live on a farm, grow watermelon, and then share it with each other. They're not the ones going around demanding violent action against other people. People who believe in freedom and liberty don't believe in using violence against other people. Anyway, you get the point. I'll leave it there. Stick around. Next segment's coming up at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Podcast every day at 6:30 p.m. And I will see you all next time.